My name is Rebecca and I will be talking about depression today. Everybody has those days where everything seems to be going wrong and their life is spiraling down. For some people this is every day. Everything is wrong and they feel lonely and lost, like they don't belong. They do not feel like doing anything and there's nothing that can lift their mood. Depression is a very common mental disorder affecting around 121 million people worldwide. People who are suffering from depression have a depressed mood, loss of appetite, disturbed sleep, and feelings of low self-worth. These symptoms can really take a toll on a person's life, leading them to not be able to take care of everyday responsibilities. It is extremely difficult for them to bring themselves out of bed. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders says that if a person is suffering from a major depressive disorder, they must have at least a depressed mood and loss of interest or pleasure in everyday activities for at least 2 weeks. They will go through major depressive episodes, which are defined as having 5 or more of the following symptoms: depressed mood for most of the day, loss of interest or pleasure in everyday activities, weight loss or gain, insomnia or hypersomnia, fatigue or loss of energy nearly every day, feelings of worthlessness, diminished ability to concentrate, and reoccurring suicidal thoughts. It is extremely difficult to diagnose children under the age of 18 with major depression because they are still going through puberty and are always having up and down moods. Children with ADHD are likely to have depression because having ADHD is already putting the child's performance down, which could already be putting them down emotionally and mentally. Because of sleep and appetite disturbances, the person who is depressed may be more irritable and lash out on others for no reason, which could affect their relationships. This could actually assist them in digging themselves deeper and deeper into their depression. Their life may spiral down because of all the terrible thoughts they have, such as "I can't do it." They will not feel like themselves anymore, and no matter how hard they try to get out of that hole, it is almost impossible. A lot of people are depressed because they do not feel good about themselves. They have been unemployed for so long, they've lost their parents or loved ones, or they have a disability. There are so many reasons that cause depression. Although little things can trigger a depressed mood, sometimes too much of those little things can cause major depression. Going through therapy is a huge step to take while going through depression. There are many different types of therapies that focus on certain things, such as our behavior or our thought patterns. Some people do not believe that therapy will help them, and they think talking to a random person is a waste of time. Well, it's not. Therapy is very effective and it can absolutely help. One type of therapy that is effective in treating depression is the cognitive behavioral theory, which assumes that the person's behavior is directly linked to their thought process. Negative thoughts affect self-esteem, mood, and behavior. It is not easy to get rid of such negative thinking, which is why therapists are there to direct and help get rid of them. The therapist will help the patient recognize and identify their negative thoughts, their interpretations of their thoughts, and lastly to challenge them and replace them with more positive thinking. It is extremely difficult to dig out of depression, but therapists believe that once behavior and thoughts are changed, so will the patient's mood. For example, if a patient comes in and says, "My friends never want to hang out with me, they hate me," the therapist will challenge that and ask if that's what it really means. Eventually the patient will learn that no, that his friends do not hate him, they're just very busy at the moment. There's so much hope for people who are depressed. They should not feel embarrassed or think that it's a waste of time to go talk to a therapist. It's not a waste of time. There's a lot that a therapist can do for a deeply depressed person. People always give the excuse that therapy is too expensive and there's no reason to talk to anybody. If a person is feeling any type of depression, they need to go talk to somebody in order to feel better. Dwelling on our negative thoughts is no help, but talking about them is. While talking to someone, it's easier to identify our problems and the thoughts that come with them. Sometimes it's nice to know that someone cares, and that's a huge step in becoming better. And honestly, our expense is really an excuse. Sure, it will cost a bit of money that we may not have, But what is more important? Our health and being able to enjoy our life, or our bank account? We can easily get a loan or set up a payment plan, but it's extremely hard to live life without happiness.